Good morning, you guys. Today is Sunday, and so I am getting prepared to go to church this morning. But I wanted to come on here to talk more about character. I decided to start this line to talk about character because that is an area of my life that I have been working on for the last 2 years. We know that we're in a time where people are operating in the gifts and in their positions, but they lack one important ingredient, and that's character. And so I set out on the journey 2 years ago to learn more about character and to actually reevaluate my character and myself, and so I wanted to kind of teach about it and talk about it. I've even written a book about it that will be out this year. I'm hoping it will be out in May. However, I'm also putting together some PowerPoint presentations and ebooks that you guys will be able to download and purchase to learn more about character and just reevaluate the things that are in your life that may come off as negative and not actually positives. And so I wanted to just talk about character development and how important character development is for any position that you want to hold in life, whether you are trying to be a mother, a father, a CEO of a company, an entrepreneur, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever you decide to do, it is going to require you to operate in good character. That means you have to know what your character traits are, what your character flaws are, and you're going to have to work on them if you want to be successful in everything that you want to be successful in. And one thing I want you guys to take from me today is to really understand that character is something that we begin to establish when we're young. I'm going to say that again. When we are young, we are growing and we are evolving. We are becoming into the men and women that we were destined to become. And so we are learning more about ourselves as we grow. This is how character is built. Character is built in the on the backside of the desert, as I would say, in the dungeon, in the trenches. That's where it's built at. Because you have to learn yourself, and everything about us changes. Everything about us changes. So you have to constantly, just like you have to get to know people, you have to constantly get to know yourself. Because listen, I used to be a cheese lover. I used to love cheese on everything. Give me nachos, give me, broccoli. Everything had to have cheese on it. But as I got older, I'm like, oh, I don't like cheese as much as I used to like it anymore. As a matter of fact, I couldn't even eat a salad without cheese on it. But now I don't like salads with cheese on it. Like, oh my God, that is so disgusting. Like, who really puts cheese on a salad? Like, oh my God, really? And so, my point is we evolve and we change every day and every time, every hour, every minute. Something about us changes, and then our life experiences, the environment that we are around, our circumstances, they all come to change us. And one thing I haven't shared with a lot of people is that I recently had open heart surgery. I had it in July, and so that surgery changed me. It really did. It changed my mindset. It changed my outlook on life. It caused me to look at things in a different way. So the person that I was a year ago is gone. I am a totally different person. And so I have to constantly get to know this new person that I wake up every day and see in the mirror. And as I learn that new person, I have to accept that person. And as I begin to accept that person, I can eliminate what needs to be eliminated and keep what needs to be kept. And this is how you establish your character. It is first learning your identity, first understanding who you are, and then begin to take on some principles and set some standards and have some morals about yourself, and begin to implement those things. And so I want to read something, character development. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can blow this up. Character development is defined as the mental, moral qualities distinctive to an individual. It's what makes us unique. Okay, it is what makes up our personality, our nature, our disposition, our temperance, our mentality, our makeup, our markup, our ethical value. It is what distinguishes us from another individual. So your character is what distinguishes you from someone else. It sets you apart. So when people look at you, do they see a woman of integrity? Do they see a woman or a man of compassion? Because whatever your character is, it's going to define you. You know, sometimes when I think about certain people, I think about their attitude. Sometimes you could be defined as a person who have a nasty attitude, a nasty disposition, you know, and so you have to be careful. You really have to be careful when it comes to what you want your character to be defined as. And so there are many qualities and components that defines a person of good character. You know, you have components like integrity, trustworthy. And let me say this, even as I said on the other day, that character is like the tree trunk. It's your personality, you know. It's the tree trunk. It's like it's a part of your identity, and it's the whole tree. But there are different branches to the tree, which is integrity and trustworthiness and compassion, and a person of good spirits, a person of good intention, a stable person, a secure person. That means you're firm, unwavering, you know, enduring, reliable. How many of us are actually reliable? Reliable. A person of noble character, honesty, honorable, reputable, upright, unselfish, empathy. Are you a person that display empathy? Empathy means that when you see other people going through, you feel the brunt of their pain. You're compassionate towards their situation and their circumstances. Compassion, I love compassion better than empathy, because compassion means that you put yourself in a position to alleviate their pain. You know, can you imagine a mother of 8 not having enough money to pay her rent, and she's getting ready to be evicted, and you have the finances to help her get out of that situation? Compassion says, you know what? Because I got the money to help you, I'm going to help you get out of this situation. Compassion means I'm going to alleviate someone else's pain. Whereas empathy means, you know what? I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that a door will open up for you. But compassion says, let me get in the ring and let me fight with you and let me fight for you. That's what compassion says. That's why I so love compassion. That's why I pride myself on being a woman of compassion. Are you a giver? A giver, that is a character trait. Some people have the spirit of giving just embedded on the inside of them. Are you loyal? Are you loyal? Listen, all of these character traits, they start within yourself. You can't be loyal to other people if you're not loyal to yourself. You can't be honest with other people if you're not honest with yourself. Be honest about your flaws. Be honest about your weaknesses. Be honest about where you are in your life. Be honest about the things about you that need to change, the things that may be hindering you from moving into your destiny. You have to start with being honest with yourself concerning these things. You have to start with being honest. You have to accept the fact that you are a flawed vessel. You have to accept the fact that nothing about you will ever be perfect. You was not created to be perfect. God doesn't use perfect people. He uses people that are flawed. He comes in, he reshapes you, he molds you, he rebuilds you, he restores you back into the original state in which he created you to be in. But it takes a process to do so. And sometimes the reason why we lack character when we get to where we're going is because we fail to submit to the process of being made. There is a saying that leaders are made, not born. I disagree with that. I believe that leaders are born and they are made. Okay, they are born and they are made. Your role as a leader was predestined. It was every person on this earth was born to lead in some form of capacity. Every person. Every person on this earth was born to lead in some form of capacity. But the making process is what determines whether or not you'll be ready to fulfill that role as a leader. And so the very first person you learn to lead is yourself. The reason why you have to lead yourself first is because this is what character is established at. This is the character is established on the foundation, on the lower level. Character isn't established when you get to the top of the floor. Character is the foundation. It's on the lower level. It's what you learn in the foundational stages. Then you can establish your leadership capability. And then you can go to the top level and begin to function in the capacity and the fullness of your gift. And so I just wanted to come on here to really encourage you guys that in this season of 2018, don't go into any business. Don't become an entrepreneur. Don't do anything to advance your life without doing it on the foundation of character, of good, sound character, of what do you want to leave? What do you want your legacy to be? You know, I think about Martin Luther King and his legacy. I think about his character, his heart, his loyalty to his cause. His loyalty to the cause, his loyalty and his compassion and his mercy and his grace towards people who didn't care anything about him. He had mercy and he had grace towards people in their ignorance. And so what do you want your legacy to be? Do you want it to be based on the foundation of a person that just made a few dollars? Or do you want your legacy to be your heart, your character? And so I want to end with that, and I hope that you guys really are blessed by these tapings on character. Again, I have PowerPoint presentations and ebooks that will be available actually before my book will be available. But I want to come on here a lot more and talk about character and professionalism, character and leadership, character and your gift. You know, we're going to talk about manners. You know, being sociable. All of this is play a major role in your character. You know, manners are something that is established when we're children and we're growing up in our home, and we do things that may show a lack of character, but our parents are there to tell us, nope, that's not what you say. That's not what you do. You got to be nice. You got to be respectful. This is how you say this. This is how you do this. But things have changed in this society, and we don't have manners anymore. So I'm going to be coming on and talking about manners and respect and integrity and all of that good stuff. And so I just hope that you guys have an awesome day today. I just hope that you guys are blessed by all of these taping. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.